Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to GameStar TV and our continuing coverage of the Blizzard ANZ Season 4 qualifiers. We're into week number 2. It's the playoffs. We've had our first game go convincingly the way of Nomia, who remain the kings of ANZ, but it is a best of 3 in the playoffs, so NMD have a second chance to bring it back. So we are just waiting for the teams to get themselves in. Vandy, you called it there in that last team fight. It was really a pivotal moment for NMD where a bit of panic seemed to set in.
It really was. And I mean, I guess I had one of the, viewers whisper me and said the Wisp was in the top lane, so they had that scouting out for them. So perhaps it was going to be a dangerous attempt for NMD to go in that top lane. But then I feel if it was dangerous, then they shouldn't have either made that call, or it's better to have gone for the low one anyway, because it would have just taken a couple hits. You could have sieged that still quite nicely without over-committing into a fight. So, like I said, I think they just seized up a little bit because they knew they were on a timer, and that can really just throw a lot of your decision-making on a map like Sky Temple.
Yeah, fantastic pressure created by the environment they're playing in. So we're going to be moving on to Infernal Shrines for the next match. And Skimmy, you reckon things might play out a little bit differently for NMD on the Shrines?
Yeah, I mean, this is no secret. This is definitely ANZ's most popular map, so I think it's going to be a little bit more comfortable for them. They went to Sky Temple trying to prove that they aren't afraid of the power picks that Nomia have, but this time they say, look, let's just bring it back to Infernal Shrines. If actually we bring it up, it was actually NMD that went for the first pick, and Nomia saying, we want Infernal Shrines. It's almost like those mind games of saying, we can play maps that we're good at. You can get your first pick, we don't care. Bring your A game to us.
All right, fantastic. Well, we've got everybody in the lobby, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm going to hand you over to Skimmy and Vandy as we get into Infernal Shrines between Nomia and NMD.
That we do. First pick, as mentioned before, for NMD, and let's see what they decide to do with it. We have seen nothing different as of yet with the support. Chokehold, I suppose, would be the best word to use during the banning phase. Would love to see the Garrosh get played tonight. I believe he's such a strong hero in the right players' control, but they are going to open up once again with the Oriole and the Tassadar.
Yep, no surprises here, no deviations from the last game in terms of the bans. Both teams showing how much they respect, I guess, the top supports currently going around. NMD opening up with that Greymane, not giving too much away. This time, opting for a little bit of a safer. They opted for that Malthael last time and didn't really quite work out the way they would have liked it to. So this time, just opting for something a bit more safer and perhaps going to the strategies to counterpick Nomia as best they can. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, once again, Greymane not going to give too much away in that first pick. Such a strong, all-round good hero. And vice versa, we're going to see a repeated opening for Nomia as well. They went for the Arthas and Uther last time. They're going to do the exact same again. But because Rhaegar was banned away, this time they are going to secure it. And the big talking point for this map is not only the Lightning Bond at level 1 for the wave clear, but also the Ancestral. And can you imagine how different that game would be if the Ancestral had denied the potential reset from Nomia?
Absolutely. 100 times would have been a more different fight, because in that last fight as well, we saw Hiccup running away. He was still running away on at least 500 health, 600 health or so. And if that Ancestral connected then, that would have denied the kill, stopped the snowballing that came from just having one person down, stopped the resets.
20 seconds left on the clock, though. Let's see what other direction they want to try and go with this one. Do they want to lock in that tank now, or do they want to pick up another support? We have seen in the past double support come from them, but whether or not it is their norm, they are going to go for the Yorick. No idea if it is going to be the standard Drain Hope or that Royal Apparition, the lingering apparition, I believe it's called, with the frustrating double soak like Azul.
Yeah, he can really clear out those waves quite effectively and then free up the rest of his team to run, that 4-man composition running around the map. And Nomia, this is an interesting one. They really do also, if they ban this, they respect what Diablo can bring and what, Hiccup was bringing in that last game. The Apocalypse can get so much more value on a small map like this, especially because you're forced to fight around the shrines. Full of the aptly named little dudes, as we refer to them, Skimmy.
Yeah, I mean, there's actually a really sweaty combination you can do with Leoric. So as soon as you chuck out the Entomb, you preemptively charge with the Shadow Charge, and he gets stunned against your own ultimate. So definitely a scary combination to leave in the wrong hands, not only for that, but for this map in particular. And straight away, Malthael is taken off the board. They do not want to leave that one to chance. I want to believe this is a Garrosh being picked by NMD, but I'm going to wait to see it and believe it.
I mean, like you said, the counters or strongest counters that we think at the moment for him, at least, that Malthael and the Leoric, the ability to shred through the armor that Garrosh really gets as his passive. Let's wait and see, but on the side of Nomia as well, that Arthur's Uther, they'll start to look to picking up their damage. The Genji is still available if they want to, Ming as well, if they want to run something similar. But Nomia, they can be full of surprises. I wonder if they want to take the Garrosh for themselves and see if they can enable something. Or maybe if they deny the Stukov. We did see last week a very interesting one with Leoric's Entomb. And then you could get the Lurking Arm Silence under there as well. It was quite nicely executed last week.
Yeah, if we are going to see something like the Stukov to combine with, you'd be looking to see a very strong backliner like Vala or Lunara, but they're not going to go for that one. They say, hey, if you don't ban out Dahaka, we are going to lock that one in. Rio's not going to make any mistakes with that. And once again, playing back with those globals to try and match what you'd imagine is going to come out of this Leoric. But Genji, Fat94 putting in an honest day's work there, combined once again with the Ufa from Vanilla, and that is a strong combination any single time they have their grasps on it.
It is, and it's all the more attractive when you do have that Uther, like I said. Generally, you shy away from trying to pick in the Genji if you don't have that Uther to back him up, because it's just asking for a world of counters. And on the side of NMD now, I would like to see more lockdown on that. They've only got soft crowd control, and really, that's just coming out of Rhaegar. Leoric, yes, he can keep people in Entomb, but it's not going to be enough.
Right now, they need a hard warrior, a hard tank to complement things. Muradin would be an attractive option with Diablo taken away. Varian is a little bit risky, although it does bring that taunt, the point and click taunt to fill up the cursed bullet to ensure that they can try and get a kill. Garrosh is still screaming at me.
You just really want to see it. But we get an Anub'arak and a Kael'thas, Skimmy, and you can't be too sad with that, especially because we know if it is going to be Ninja playing that Kael'thas, he's showing himself to... It's one of his favorite heroes. I guess that's going back to comfort picks, and the Anub'arak can offer them a lot in terms of that hard crowd control that we were asking them to bring.
Yeah, CC for days. They're going to have the Kael'thas. So much the same as you're saying the Stukov and Leoric interaction, I suppose the same can then follow for Kael'thas as well. You lock them in place, guaranteed flame strikes, living bombs, spreading around, causing all kinds of problems, especially at level 13 when you get the resets on those cooldowns too. But what is this fifth and final pick from Nomia? How do they want to round things out? They've got the front line. They've got the single DPS in that of Genji. We saw the double backline last time with Li Ming. Li Ming is still available. Not the best map, generally speaking, for it, but definitely a strong pick nonetheless.
On the side of Nomia, I mean, now that we're starting to see, they want someone that can really lock down that Kael'thas and put more pressure on him. Someone that can go in with Genji as well. And I mean, if I'm thinking of someone that would fit the bill, yes, I mean, the Li Ming could help put that on Kael'thas. And I mean, yes, they've gone for it. It also offers them the poke, was what I was also going to add to that, which can be quite beneficial in lane as well around the shrines. So almost very similar draft, only the Dahaka change on the side of Nomia this time around.
Yeah, they don't get the Anub'arak, they get the Dahaka, and they're not going to leave that one for chance. So let's see how they utilize this one. They say they've already warmed up with a very similar comp on Sky Temple, going to look to do the exact same on map number 2. And this is really going to come down to NMD here. Do they think this brand new comp they've drafted, the variations they've created, is that going to be enough to interrupt the double resets?
Let's have a look. It all needs to be around protecting Ninja and Physics, that Kael'thas and the Grey Mane. So Lahal should have his job cut up for him, especially because they have also opted to go for just one support. So although we've been saying that this is the meta of double support, instead what we've seen is both teams have actually gone double warriors back to back.
So a couple of things we can obviously bring to point is they will have a cleanse with the Rhaegar to look to try and interrupt the assault that can come from the likes of Arthas, because that proves so strong. Once they're caught in their grasp, the resets are quite easy to line up and execute. So with that in mind, let's see how we can execute those Ancestrals, because that's going to be a key point in turning these fights. But there we go. Game has loaded. Game number 2 of this best of 3 with Nomia currently leading 1-0. Why don't you introduce the teams to start off with?
Sure thing. On the blue side, we've got Nomia or Numia, as we like to start nicknaming them, with Fat94 on Genji, Penta playing Arthas, Ryu on Dahaka, Jim Jam playing Li Ming, and Vanilla on Uther.
On the right-hand side, the wildcards, NMD themselves, the boys in red. It's going to be Hiccup playing Anub'arak, Vikrak playing Leoric, Ninja on Kael'thas, Greymane played by Physics, and Lahal on that all-important Rhaegar.
And I mean, we're pause-free this game, so my fingers are crossed that it stays this way. And I mean, one thing that we barely touched upon last game, but we probably should have, mention to everyone at home is that Jim Jam is subbing for John today, as John was unable to play due to some work commitments. So the Nomia roster, it's only changed 2 members, and that was Penta and Ryu. So Jim Jam's just a sub for this evening.
Yeah, so if you know what to do, chat, if Jim Jam does start running it down, maybe we want some spicy memes in chat, make him aware of all the pressure that this Nomia legacy has attached to it.
So far, so good. He topped Siege and hero damage of last game, so he's showing the Nomia boys how it's done.
Talking of the Nomia boys, they're going to have a bit of a punch on in the middle. The scrap comes out, the Howling Blast is there onto Ninja, but NMD are taking this one. The raw potential for them to force fights, much the same as game number 1, is there. Let's see, though, can they get a little bit more aggressive? Can they compound some kind of lead before that level 10 mark? Because that's really when Nomia find that second gear and really punch on.
It really is, but NMD are no strangers to this as well. And in fact, they've gone for the gank attempt onto Vanilla.
They were looking to try and get it. You could see Ninja sticking on that mount. He could not commit because Li Ming was on the bottom and Genji was on the top. And as soon as he commits and exposes his positioning, he gets collapsed upon. And it's an easy picking, a fight that turns around on them. So I like the restraint, but also, this is what NMD are looking for. They need to get these first kills to start the ball rolling.
You can see how comfortable Nomia is with this composition again. I mean, that's why they probably didn't change it that much from Sky Temple. They said, hey, if it ain't broke, we don't need to fix it. We liked how this was running for us, and we're happy to run it back to back, especially on a map like Infernal Shrines. And the fact is, if they can keep denying these kills from NMD like last game, we could start to see it very easily go in Nomia's favor.
Oh, and talk about it. That's what they need to do to get the ball rolling. The first blood comes out. The red team exploding with fire as they turn on Li Ming. And it times out quite nicely because the shrine is on their doorstep and it spawns in 5 seconds.
And here we were praising Jim Jam, so I'm expecting the spicy memes to start rolling in. Not the fact that he got caught out by that. So let's see what chat can come up with. But in the meantime, the first shrine has been activated. Physics has already started to make short work of it, and he'll be joined by the other members of NMD. But we can see Penta, he's happily pushing that bottom lane, while the rest of the team members of Nomia get into position to contest.
Yeah, they were soaking. They were ready to get level 4 and now to go for the fight. They collapse on towards Ninja. He's locked in place by the Howling Blast. Vanilla tries to get in range. Jim Jam tries to get an angle with the combo, but he can't connect. And Ninja manages to survive. Fat 94 on the flank himself, drop down low, forcing some kind of heal out of Vanilla. But we do talk about the level 4, where Leoric could go with it. He has opted for the royal focus, and that's going to do a lot of work in terms of keeping the Harker occupied.
Exactly right. That's really going to be Vikarac's focus. However, he has rotated down to the shrine. I must say, I mean, I don't think there was any need for that. Perhaps it was just as a failsafe, but that has allowed Ryu to get some cheeky pushing in that top lane and actually get that tower to about half or about 1/3 now.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that he's always exploiting against teams. If they can't beat the Dahaka and they can't respond to the global pressure, then they will just even out what you're trying to achieve through these siege. The Mortal Punisher has been picked up, dropped to 10%. They break the wall and they break those towers, looking now to try and establish the fall. Gravity comes out but does not connect as Hiccup looks to follow, and now they're forced to back away.
They are, but they did get a nice little bit of damage with that front wall completely destroyed in that bottom lane and some damage onto the fort. They can be quite happy with that push, NMD. And like we said, Ryumak, anytime he's left unchecked, he will make sure that he's constantly pushing that lane out very aggressively.
There goes the relapse and the Impale to follow once again, looking for the key target on towards Vanilla. Physics jumps on in with the Dark Flight. They're looking to try and collapse. He's sticking alive down to 200, but he finally falls. And that clone, the Holy Clone, is going to do work in keeping these boys and Nomia alive. Rhaegar is the response. Both supports are down right now. This is all about survival. Survival off the fittest, with Penta being quite low himself. Will not have the Army of the Dead, does not need it. As the Flame Strike clips him on the way out, but he does manage to survive with a Death Coil at his side.
You can see how happy, how proficient Ninja is on Kael'thas as well. He really knows the limits, the range of his Flame Strikes and where to be, more importantly, that positioning. Often you can get quite aggressive with Kael'thas and really get quite aggressive to try and get the perfect Flame Strike. And Ninja as well, he did not opt for that convection as well. He knew that it would just paint a giant red target on his head, instead opting for the safer Mana Addict quest.
Safer, smarter, whatever you want to call it. I mean, that Arcane Barrier is going to find a lot of value in terms of making sure that these resets can't come across, because you have to imagine that it's going to be the pick of choice for when Nomia do hit that level 10 power spike. And speaking of power spikes, a mini one at that as we approach level 7. Icebound Fortitude as well as the Cleanse are going to be big talking points here, and making sure these people can stay alive.
Cleanse will be a big factor in that, exactly right, Skimmy, because it's all about what we saw last game. Was once the Howling Blast went out, it was about Nomia collapsing onto that. They really needed to stall that, really have an answer to that, and this time NMD, they do.
Rio on the rotate down in the bottom lane, keeping Genji now preoccupied in that top side of the map as he is forced to clear out the Shaman camp. Nomia haven't done a response, haven't picked it up themselves. Lanes are being cleared. It's all hands on deck for level 10 as level 9 is soon to approach for both teams, but the Shrine has now spawned in the top lane.
It has. This time it will be for the Arcane Punisher. So arguably one of the best Punishers that you can get in this game in terms of sieging down for your enemies. So this will be a highly contested one. NMD, they did get that Khazra camp in the middle lane. So Nomia will either have to choose to respond to that or let it go and win the fight here, essentially.
It's what we've seen Nomia do in the past with different rosters. They've actually given it up. They said, look, we can just try and sacrifice this as long as possible. I'm going to clear bot, I'm going to go through mid and try and get level 10. Sacrifice, poke, do what you can in this 4v5 situation. Don't fall too far behind. And it's exactly what they're doing. Despite it being a 4v5, Vandy, it's 15-12. They're definitely not out of this for free.
No, they really aren't. And we can see Vikrek is trying to start a fight here. He's very low on mana, however, and is taking a lot of poke damage. In that, Ryumak has to go to the middle lane now to defend against that Khazra camp with 20 little dudes being picked up. 21 now on the side of NMD. They're looking to see if they can try and race this one, but each team, they're waiting for that all-important level 10 as well, where heroics become unlocked.
As a result of that, Khazra camp actually getting so much push uncontested for free. They're winning the race level 10, NMD are. And it is 33 skulls to 21. This is looking like NMD going to take this one out. The delay tactics from Nomia miscalculated slightly as the burrow is going to come on through. He's looking for a brush talk. They're going to connect. He's looking for that first drag target. It's going to connect with Vikrek, who is low. He has no mana. Hiccup is down to sub 30% health as he jumps it in. John's going to get some much as well. Rio is so dangerously low, Vandy, and it's looking like NMD going to pick this one up.
I was just waiting for John Cena to join the fray, and that was going to be when I saw a kill happening. The crowd control that he provides, that stun when he leaps upon someone, is just huge. And we have actually lost Lahal. He did drop during that fight as well, so it gives us a moment. As I said, it was going to be a good game if we didn't get any pauses, but in true ANZ fashion, we did manage to get one.
That's called the caster's curse right there, and you know, the more you speak about it, the more it's likely to happen. But let's talk about what we see on the screen right now. Kurt has come across. That's one member locked in. Didn't actually quite catch who it was, but the Arcane Punisher is getting amongst it. If those lasers spawn on top of his head, this paints a very big target. Entomb is available. Curse Bullet is there as well. That one person is a sitting duck. And level 10 is so close to Nomia, but still they don't have it, so no Divine Shield to prevent that person from dropping down.
This is actually a little bit strange for Nomia to be on the back foot of this. Normally it's Nomia doing this to another team. It seems like he said a little bit before the fight started, maybe miscalculated that stall tactic that they were going for. And Nomia, remember, they have dropped it. Oh, it's Fan 94. And he's demolished. No chances there.
Genji got sent home packing. I mean, there's no chance. Level 10 picked up now, Vandy, but yeah.
Nomia have opted for that team fighting composition, so if they are losing these team fights, it can look a little bit worrying for them as well. Because they don't have a lot of push, they don't have a lot of siege to deal with the Punisher.
John Cena gets amongst it once again. Arcane Punisher pushing on through, looking to establish this keep wall in the top lane, dropping one tower low and picking up the Shamans as well as the denial more than anything as they're going to rotate through, expose this map as much as they can, keep that XP lead in their favor. Currently a 1-level lead, looking to build that to a 2-level lead as they now begin work on that fault in that mid lane.
Okay, so although Nomia, they are starting to be a level behind, this is no, I guess, reason for us to panic. We've seen Nomia in, I guess, a couple of worse situations, and they've really taken us for a ride. They've been like, don't worry, guys, we had this in the bag. But it's more if NMD can keep up the pressure on Nomia, they might see themselves walk away with the win quite easily.
Yeah, right now we know Nomia had that experience from going to all these different championships, but they have the composure to wait for that one fight. They're not going to turn it into a slugfest. They respect what these talents can mean and what these levels bring to the table, so they're waiting essentially for NMD to make the mistake. This is the first time they've been commanding the driving seat with 4 kills to 1. The level lead still hugely in their favor. But if we take a moment to calculate the ultimates we didn't discuss before, Dahaka has gone for the isolation. So once again, it's to complement what their fights are trying to achieve. Pick one target, take them out straight away. You'd have to imagine if that's not going to be on the likes of Anubrek or Kel, it's to deny that Ancestral from being able to connect with anybody.
That caught my eye as well, and I think that was just really tapping into how Ryumak is playing around his team's composition. It's very teamfight centric. It's not about using the adaptation to soak up as much damage as possible. No, it's about committing, getting that kill as fast as possible, enable the Leaning and Genji.
13 now in the bag as they pick up their Shaman camps, timing it quite well. Next Shrine should be spawning very soon. And there it is in 10 seconds, as we call it. This is a bit of a window for them to try and exert their pressure with the 13. They go for the Entomb, looking for Vanilla. Is the Curse Bullet going to come out? Yes, it is. The stuns, the impales, the Grave Lapse, the Divine Shields. As Vanilla is not going to die for free that easily.
That was really nice crowd control. That was staggered out by NMD, so they did not overlap. Something I guess that we start to see a lot of these teams when they've been together, they're more able to do. I mean, it's great to see, but Vanilla, more importantly, he got out of it, but Divine Shield was used.
Divine Shield was the cost, but now you can see the instant response is we're not going to contest that one. You can have another Punisher for your efforts. We're going to clear these lanes. We need level 13. We're going to begin the siege in the top lane, try and even things out a little bit. Otherwise, we're going to go straight back through to mid and go on that base defense because that fort is now dropped.
Yep, so NMD immediately, once they sensed Nomia had dropped, I mean, they can see them on the map. They wasted no time in clearing out that fort. What that enables the Punisher to do, if he does choose that middle lane, is to get even more value. So with that bottom lane already being taken out, it gives him a clear path to siege as much as possible onto that keep.
Loving what they've been doing so far, NMD. A real turnaround from game number 2. This creative solution, a different draft, a response to what they've already versed in game 1 on Sky Temple is proving successful so far. Frozen Punisher, if they can lock people in, follow with the CC, they can go for a keep. A keep can then translate into the core, and the game could be swung at a 1-all set. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, Vandy. The Phoenix is being chucked out. The Punisher is low. The keep is still healthy.
Yep, but they did get that front wall now, so if they do get a chance, they're able to easily siege on that keep with no worries, essentially. And Ninja using the Phoenix, it's on a relatively short cooldown, but using it to zone, make sure that Nomia could not defend that front wall. Oh, Nomia know what's up, however.
They are going to contest. They go straight in on Lahar. Curse Bullet is a response. Fat 94 going to do what he can. Receives the Divine Shield now. Still looking to try and take out Lahar. Ancestral can't even come out. And he gets cocooned at the very last second as well. Lahar could join in the fight now. It's a slugfest on top of this point. They are going back and forth. Members of NMD are piling on in, but it's not going to be enough. This is ideal for Nomia. They can just collapse in these short spaces, getting resets. They get the kill on Vecrac. Their Swift Strike is there. Surely, there it comes, looking for Physics to reflect to make sure he can't do anything. And Hiccup, the last man standing on 300 health, some way gets out.
He does, but look at how Nomia were immediately able to turn that situation by dropping Lahal. Lahal didn't even get a chance to use that Ancestral Heal, like you said. And the Divine Dragon Blade, it was enough for Fat 94 to get the kills. I did see Vikarak, however, hovering around 100 health for a good, 30 seconds in that fight. And I'm like, surely they're going to notice him. That's a free reset for you there. But it shows the prioritization as well. I mean, it's just a Leoric. It's not going to be one of those hide, and it's not one of the carries. It's not one of the healers. So Nomia, they're calling out their targets quite well and prioritizing them, more importantly.
And after that one successful team fight, we've evened things up on the scoreboard. 5 kills to 6 now in favour of Nomia. 16 all when it comes to the levels. A lead that was built up, the steam is evaporated, and it's all to play for once again. Shaman's picked up by Nomia to even out the top lane, as they now get themselves prepared on a macro basis for the next shrine. It is going to spawn in that top side as well, so if they can get a good push off, they can complement this set of Shamans as well.
And it could almost be a... oh my gosh! Hiccup gets dragged upon. Could this be a repeat of what happened last time?
Wow. Anti-magic tank, but it's not going to be anti-magic enough because he just gets taken out in the blink of an eye. Down for 40 seconds. Physics tries to get the response, but he cannot. And the rotations are there. That's going to be enough now for Nomia to find their brace. Now you can actually take this temple, or this shrine, sorry, and then can actually escort these shamans in as well.
So Nomia did exactly that, what happened, what we saw NMD do, Nomia did as well. Really staggering out the CC, getting the most use out of it. And as we saw Hiccup, he just could not burrow charge away. When he could, he was already on 2 bars. That was easy for Nomia to get the reset on that. Vikarak now trying to clear out this top Shaman camp. However, Vanilla topping it off, really stalling it. So with the death timers as they are, they won't have their Nubarak to join them for this fight, NMD.
And they're not going to need to. They're going to repeat what they did beforehand, where they keep Ryu down in this bot lane, making sure they're getting maximum efficiency with this. They don't need all 5 members on that. No, they can min-max this to a T. They can get XP in other lanes, and they can use the Brush Stalker whenever they need. Vikarak is going to start things off, but he does not connect with the Entomb. That's the big one to notice. Planes has to be used on Physics very early, and rightfully so, because the drag comes out onto Hiccup, not the target he's looking for, as the Phoenix is the response, but nothing is connecting right now.
It is, and Penta, he's just working his way. All members of Nomia, they're still working their way onto the shrine, and they have actually picked up that Punisher now for their troubles.
Mortar Punisher picked up, arguably the weakest one like we talk about, but now they have the ability to play off the jumps in. Not going to be the best one for it. Howling Blast is there to follow. Fan94 is regardless going to still jump on in, using the sub-agility to make sure he gets on out, but wow, cops a lot of damage to the face, eating the cursed bullet, and that's Hiccup's call. He wants to fight, he burrows in, and they just take out Office! Gone before anything can happen.
They're ignoring the Punisher completely. The Divine Dragon Blade is out. Ninja is being collapsed upon. John Cena joins the fray, however, Ancestral Heal is great.
Seshal is so good there, and it's going to collapse on the Flame Strike, finding an insane amount of value. Nobody from NMD has died right now, so triple kill picked up against Nomia. Physics still on the hunt, sees Rio, sees Fat94, wants more blood shed. And the Punisher in their favor really proves to work against them.
It really does, and that was very smart by NMD, as you said, because it is one of the weaker Punishers. It doesn't really have any crowd control, doesn't really have that burst zoning potential coming out from the lasers. Instead, they just completely ignored it, and until Ninja got punched on by John Cena joining the fray, Lahal was there to bail him out with the Ancestral as well. So, wonderful team fight by NMD.
Bit of bait work from Hiccup there as he burrowed in and didn't actually do much with it, and then they just decide, okay, now we're going to fight, and I think it caught Nomia off guard. And Rio once again cops a cursed bullet to the face. The Phoenix is used to make sure that this keep is going to fall, and Fat94 is hungry for a target to try and collapse upon. Cocoon is there, it's on to Penta, as NMD are trying to get themselves out of this one.
They really want that keep, but they don't want to lose their lives for it. So smart call by backing on out. And how's that for Nomia in terms of defense? Every time NMD has tried to get that keep down, it's been living against all the odds on the tiniest little bit of health. But this time NMD, they don't want to, like I said, they don't want to overstay, they don't want to overextend and throw away their hard-earned lead now.
If I was Hiccup right now, I would be definitely, if this game goes to the game at number 3, be reading my team Little Red Riding Hood, looking about those wolves that blow down the houses, because they need a lucky charm right now. The voodoo needs to be in their favor, because these keeps are living, and it's not a pretty sight to see. Level 20, on a serious note though, is soon to be picked up by NMD, and if they can once again find a great pick, a great opportunity to force a fight, that could be all it takes to win that one decisive push and go for the all-important 3-3.
That's it, Skimmy, exactly as you said. Could not agree more. But the map has been painted blue by Nomia in the terms of that they've captured all the merc camps. So just forcing NMD to clear these out, just waste a couple of seconds before they can regroup. And, I mean, knowing Nomia, they'll look to see if they can sort of get a fight. And Ninja now is 1v1 against Fat94, but luckily he can retreat back to that fort.
Yeah, you can see Nomia trying to collapse there onto Vekrak, but he's not phased one bit whatsoever. Crushing Hope from the Drain Hope connects with the target and ensures that he is nice and healthy, not needing to take any resources from Lahal. Shrine is now spawning. This one's important. It's in the mid lane. Level 20 has been taken. A small window, 30 seconds at tops for NMD to try and force a fight here. And if they can do that, such a big advantage for them.
Interesting choice here by Vikarak. So getting that renewed swing at 16, I mean, it has been working out quite well to give him that bonus damage and making the bruiser that he is, but 20 is where Leoric becomes an absolute monster with that Spectral Leech being taken up, and that just means that all of his basic attacks deal 5% of bonus damage to each hero. So really just allowing them to... Oh my goodness, Fat94 there! Skinny! Got so low!
Got so dangerously low, but the reflect cannot be interrupted from the burrow that comes from Hiccup. Not going to connect, and Vekrak would really love to hope that would have done, because that was their ticket. That was their window to execute within. Now 20 is going to be picked up. Shamans are pushing in favor of Nomia for that top lane. Always something to keep an eye on, because that can single-handedly get a keep. But NMD have other ideas in mind. They've got 35 little dudes out of the 40 required. There goes the Entomb to start things off, and the Divine Shield on that blade now, Vandy.
It's going in. Fat94, he's trying to seek out value. No one is low. There's no resets. However, now with Vikarak down, this could be it. We can see Jim Jam now getting a lot of value out of his disintegrates.
Yeah, they get the kill. They get 2 for their efforts, and now they look for the triple. They're hunting on towards Hiccup. The extended range, the extended duration from the level 20 on Genji ensures they do that. But look, John Cena is looking to take down the captain of Nomia, punching back Fat94. They were hoping they could actually go for the end with the Shamans. They're being pushed on back.
They really, really were, but the fact is that Ninja and Physics, their damage lived. However, I don't know if they can take on 5 members of Nomia. Vikarak will be up quite soon, but they need to answer to that Shaman Camp, because like you said, left unchecked, it will be able to single-handedly take down that keep. And will John Cena be enough? He can finally punch on through, get that keep that NMD have been wanting for the last few minutes of the game, really.
I mean, they've been searching for that for the best part of the last hour, and finally it falls on down, and it gives them a little bit of breathing room, something to maneuver around. Permanent pressure pushing for them in that mid lane. And they did a good job at defending the top side of the map as well. The Keep stood tall, it survived at half health. And now this is where it starts to get tense. 20 minutes into this game, respawn time is along, 60 seconds at the least. One kill, especially in the favor of Nomia, would work for them to really take this one to the end.
It would indeed. And I mean, we do see the structural advantage coming out on the side of NMD. However, it's that top keep that has now been left bare and exposed thanks to that Shaman camp pushing all game. And I mean, they quite literally died for that Punisher. So at least they did get something for their troubles, but they cannot afford to do it again. Not at this point of the game.
Anti-metric shell acquired by Arthas at level 20 as well, and this is going to do a lot of work to try and even out the balance of those scales when he goes up against Leoric, negating a lot, well actually negating all spell armor, becoming immune for 3 seconds and then healing based on that damage. So look to see how that one comes into effect. Gravilapse does start things off on Penta as Vikrak is hunting, the Spectral Wraith is there, he wants the Entomb, can he find the target he's after? He cannot! And that is a scary situation for them now, they have to back away. Ryu is getting free pressure in the top lane as a result.
He is. It was just like a moment too late, I think, when the Entomb came out. Luckily, it's on a short cooldown, but it's more the fact that they could not get that kill on Penta. That's what they were looking for, that all-important pick, because, as you said, anytime Ryumak can, he will make sure that he's putting the constant pressure on that top lane. And look at him, how he's posed. He's not even, NMD might have thought that he borrowed away. No, he's actually hanging around. The moment that they leave this lane, he'll continue pushing it.
He is playing hide and seek, but has he bitten off more than he can chew? He doesn't have the increased brush talk, but he can get out of harm's way, drawing all 4 members to the top lane as a result of them being engaged with that Shaman camp. An advantage that they will have in their favor. Nomia can't pick up their own one, so that's constant pressure now pushing against them. Shrine now becoming active. It is in the bottom side. There are 4 areas to tackle it from. All to play for right now, Vandy.
Yep, it's all or nothing now. Entomb locking up 2 members, followed up by Hiccup's Furrow Charge.
Divine Shield onto the blade, looking for that 1 kill. Hiccup is low, but Penta is even lower. He's just getting drained all day. They can't find the all-important kill to get that reset, though. Dragon Blade desperately flicking, keeping that cooldown alive. He is hunting, he is searching. He is unable to take anything back to his tribe, and they go straight back onto that point, looking to take some little dudes home with them.
Yep, that's Ben's consolation prize. He does not go away empty-handed. He instead gets to fish for those little dudes, as we said. Ninja, big flame strike, securing a nice chunk of what they got. They're fighting for this Hiccup, however. Ancestral there to bail him out.
Lahal, so on point with that Ancestral. That was really the make or break situation for NMD, but he might get called out for his sins. He gets taken on down. And now, Nomia can look to turn this thing around, 28 to 33. It is an absolute all-out slug affair. Kelfar's trying to do whatever he can from afar with the level 20 flamethrower, chucking out those flame strikes, keeping people alive. Dahaka goes down, Ufa to follow. And they are going to pick this one up, Nomia, somehow.
They do, but look at how many members of NMD are alive. That's the thing there. If they can get Jim Jam here, no, he does manage to get away. If they can even get one more kill, look at this flame strike.
Ben is the sweatiest of them all. Big boy with the big moves as he joves. Oh, he just jukes and drives all day long. And he managed to live, but the Frozen Punishment you mentioned is picked up by Nomia. That is going to the bot lane.
Vikrak as well almost fell to that Frozen Punisher as well. He is not messing about at this stage of the game. He will pack a serious punch. One to make John Cena proud of, I guess. That's why we name him that. And Nomia, unfortunately, they're not able to siege with this punish, though. So it's up to NMD to see if they can clear this one before Nomia can regroup, before they can get too much out of other areas of the map, such as the Merc camps.
NMD not giving up without a fight here. Such a close skirmish that we just saw on that shrine there. But no, this has really been the response in terms of what they've seen. They said, Nami, you're going to pick the exact same comp again. Yes, you're warmed up, but now we know exactly what we need to draft to beat it. And this game a lot closer as a result. And due to this not being like Sky Temple, with the mechanics of just opponent sieging pressure, they can afford to play the late game here. We're approaching now the 25-minute mark. I'm starting, maybe jumping the gun here, but starting to get flashbacks of Dragonshire against Darksided.
A little bit, but luckily there's only one global that they can exploit, not 2. On the side of NMD, however, like Nomia, they're doing a great job in clearing the front line. However, Ninja and Physics are doing an absolutely enormous effort of keeping themselves alive. And that just goes to show, because they are the most important members to stay alive. And Lahal there in that top lane, he did get a wonderful Ancestral, but the fact that he fell afterwards and then really allowed Jim Jam and Fat94 to get their cooldowns reset kind of punished them a little bit.
This is what it comes down to, sitting in bushes and waiting for the opposition to phase check it. They're not going to do that, and as a result of their positioning, Nomia can rush for this keep. They even the scale, they get the keep in the top lane, but there goes the Entomb. That is the response. Keep is still standing, mind you. It is now forced out. Divine Shield has to be used in offense. This is really going to punish them. There's a cocoon onto Genji. Li Ming responds instantly with the disintegrate, but they're looking to still cracks onto Penta. He's taking so much damage. Cleanse comes across. He's burrow charged up, and he's going to be the first one to fall, Vandy.
That's it. So, although Nomia were able to get the keep, now they got the kill on Penta. He's down for 60 seconds. It is ticking down, however, and the Shaman camp is still up. So they do need someone on the side of NMD to respond to that. However, look at this. The call has been made. It looks like they want to try put some pressure onto this top top keep.
Yeah, they want to try and get a keep for their efforts. They want to try and really exploit the 60-second window. And can they do it? Exactly, they can. There's no chance for a Brush Stalker here. He is taking so much damage. Gravity Labs comes across. Flame Strike with the double reset, spreading the Living Bomb as well. And that is going to be enough beautiful coordination there from NMD, all led by Ninja to start on off. Oh, the Swift Strike has to be used there, or Ben would have been a triple kill in the casualties. And the Shrine spawns, and this is NMD's chance to even thing out.
Fat 94, he knew that he needed to try and make something happen, see if he could bail out Ryu, but the damage was done. You're very immobile, as we touch on with the Haka. If you can't burrow one out of there, that's your one weakness. You can get collapsed upon quite nicely. And that has staggered the death timers a little bit as well on the side of Nomia, because now they've got Penta up, and now they need to wait another 30 seconds. However, it's better for Ryu because he can use the burrow to rejoin his team.
Expect to see the boys of Nomia wait in a bush and wait for the flank like we saw before when they tried to push in this top side of the map. They need to commit to the kills. This Punisher alone will do so much, and they realize that they're trying to play Suri themselves, trying to pick up the Shamans to escort this one, and they think it's free, but is it? Entomb comes out, and he's going to pick up Ufus straight away. He's down, he's forced to use the Holy Light on himself as they try and collapse on towards Fat 94. He can't use the Divine Shield in this form. He's keeping them alive, waiting for that redemption to come on through, but it's not going to be enough, or is it? Swift Strike at the very last second as Physics chases on in, and a swipe of the hammer as Vikrak takes his kill.
Vanilla has been back, however. The redemption, giving him a second life, however, it's just a second time to die. Penta, he lives to tell the tale. He's trying his best to back, but this is going to be a tough defense for Nomia. They do not have the members. They do not have the clear for the Punisher. That is their weakness as a team composition.
This is looking like a game, set, and match point for this game alone anyway. As we jump into this one, the Mortar Punisher is going to begin work on towards that shield. Taka forced to burrow very early on. Isolation comes out as he falls to the floor. The Flame Strike slapping him around. Penta on the impossible right now. 1v4. Icebound Fortitude not going to do enough to prevent this Gravity Lapse coming across. Punisher is still healthy. Catapult's going through the mid lane as well. And this shield is dropping. The core is going down as well, Vandy. NMD are bringing us one apiece.
NMD have done it. Finally, for their efforts, they get the game, and a lot of that just really happened to denying the deaths in this game. So I really liked how they played that one. They really let Vikrak and also Hiccup to go in there to soak up all of the damage, deny that. And anytime anyone was getting low, that was the Rhaegar. That's the power of the Ancestral Heal. So good at negating what Genji and Li Ming need to enable them, essentially. Just getting a kill, essentially.
Love what we just saw there. The first time in Season 4 that Nomia have fallen with this brand new roster that we've seen, obviously discounting any scrims leading into it, because they don't count on the day. It's all about these points, all about that chance to go through to the championship finals where you can potentially represent the region at BlizzCon. But that's it from us for this one. It is the best of 3. One more game to follow, guys, after this one. But for the meantime, back to Crisis.
Hey, thank you, guys. And what a great turnout. NMD, the Giant Killers. They haven't gone all the way, though. They've got the pointy bit stuck into the Giants, and they've now got a chance to really drive it home. So we're going to take a short break while we set up game number 3. It's a best of 3, 1-1 tied for Nomia and NMD. So the finale is coming up in just a moment, and then of course after that we've got another match lined up for you. So when the game is finished, we'll be drawing the raffle. So make sure you enter that. Type in !GS HOTS. And that'll get you into the raffle. We're giving away a loot chest code that's got 12 loot chests in it. So make sure you enter. All right, we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere.